What if I told you the real secret behind building billionaire-level wealth isn't some exotic stock, or the latest crypto token, or even a perfect trading strategy, but something far more boring? It's a habit. Actually, 3 habits. They're simple, almost too simple, but they compound like crazy. Reinvesting, patience, and concentration. That's the DNA of billionaires. And here's the kicker. It's not just for them. These same principles can transform your wealth-building game, whether you're starting with $500 or $500,000. Let's break it down. Let's start with reinvesting, because this is the heartbeat of billionaire wealth. Every great story you hear, whether it's Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, or Elon Musk, has this thread running through it. Instead of cashing out at every opportunity, they kept pouring money back into the very thing they were building. Buffett has a famous line. He calls compounding the 8th wonder of the world.
Reputed to have said that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world or something like that.
However, compounding only works if you keep feeding the machine. If you're always pulling money out, you cut the engine short before it can really accelerate. Take Buffett's own company, Berkshire Hathaway, for example. It hasn't paid a dividend since 1967. That's almost 6 decades of reinvesting profits instead of distributing them. Every dollar has been pushed back into buying businesses, expanding operations, or acquiring more stocks. The result? Berkshire went from a struggling textile mill to one of the most valuable conglomerates in the world. Or look at Amazon. For years, people criticized Jeff Bezos because the company never seemed to make a profit. But those missed profits weren't gone. They were reinvested into warehouses, into logistics, into cloud computing. That reinvestment gave birth to AWS, which today is not just a side project. It's one of the most profitable arms of the entire tech industry. Now here's where it really matters for you. Reinvesting isn't just some strategy reserved for billion-dollar companies or Wall Street giants. It's something you can do, starting with whatever amount you already have. Take dividends, for example. If you own a stock that pays you cash every quarter, you've got 2 options: spend it or roll it back in. The first feels good in the moment. You treat yourself. You see a little bump in your account. But the second option? That's where the magic starts. By reinvesting, you're putting those dollars back to work, and suddenly your money starts earning its own money. Same goes for side projects, businesses, even personal ventures. If you take the profit from one win and use it to fuel the next, you're building momentum. You're creating a chain where each success funds the next bigger success. It doesn't look flashy day one. You're not cashing out. You're not showing off the quick reward. But what you're doing is feeding the compounding engine. And here's the thing. Compounding starts out boring. At first, the snowball is tiny. You barely notice it, but as you keep reinvesting year after year, the growth curve bends upward. The snowball gets heavier, faster, and eventually unstoppable. That's why reinvesting is one of the core habits of billionaires, and why it's just as powerful for anyone willing to be disciplined with their money. And that's where the second habit kicks in: patience. Because reinvesting only works if you give it enough time to play out. Patience separates average investors from the ones who build lasting wealth. Billionaires play a different game of time. They don't think in quarters or even in years. They think in decades. Jeff Bezos used to tell investors, "Your margin is my opportunity." And then he'd spend 10 years quietly building infrastructure that nobody else was willing to wait for. Elon Musk endured years of ridicule and near bankruptcy with Tesla. But he stayed the course through brutal losses until the vision finally became reality. And of course, Warren Buffett said it best. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. That wisdom doesn't just hold up. It feels louder than ever in 2025. Think about the world we're living in right now. Everything is built for speed. You can open your phone and trade stocks in seconds, for free. Markets swing because of a single tweet, a viral meme, or a trending hashtag. Every day there's some new must-buy stock being hyped on social media, and algorithms are feeding you bite-sized hot takes 24/7. It's noise on top of noise. And here's the trap. That constant buzz makes you feel like you need to act all the time. Like if you're not making moves daily, you're falling behind. But the truth? That's exactly how wealth slips through people's fingers. The people who actually build real durable wealth are the ones who resist that pull. They step back, they zoom out, they focus less on the day-to-day chaos and more on where they'll be 5, 10, 20 years from now. Because that's the real advantage of patience. Time itself becomes your engine. Compounding doesn't reward the busy, it rewards the consistent. Every reinvested dividend, every year you hold a strong business, every cycle you sit through. Those are the quiet moments where wealth builds. Not in chasing the next trade, but in letting time do what time does best. But patience alone isn't enough. Waiting doesn't work unless you're waiting in the right places. That brings us to the third habit. Concentration. This one sounds counterintuitive, because all our lives we've been told to spread out, to diversify. And yes, diversification has its place. But the truth is, most billionaires didn't get there by owning a little bit of everything. They got there by concentrating on the things they knew best and doubling down when conviction met opportunity. Buffett, again, is a perfect example. At different times, over 40% of Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio has sat in just a handful of companies like Apple or Coca-Cola. Elon Musk, nearly all of his wealth is tied to Tesla and SpaceX. Bill Gates, Microsoft. They didn't sprinkle their money across dozens of random bets. They focused where they had the deepest understanding and the strongest edge. Now, that doesn't mean you should go all in recklessly. It means that when you find your circle of competence, when you really understand a business, a sector, or a trend, you shouldn't be afraid to give it meaningful weight in your portfolio. Because patience and reinvesting only pay off if the thing you're waiting on is strong enough to grow in the first place. So here's the bigger picture. These three habits, reinvesting, patience, and concentration, aren't just nice ideas. They're interconnected gears in the same wealth-building machine. Reinvesting is what keeps the compounding engine alive. Patience is what gives compounding the time to actually work its magic. And concentration is what makes sure that when your ideas do pay off, the upside is large enough to matter. Put them together, and you get this rocket fuel effect. It's why billionaire wealth often looks like it just explodes out of nowhere. Suddenly, the curve goes vertical. But what most people miss is the long, quiet stretch that came before. The years, sometimes decades, of disciplined reinvestment, delayed gratification, and focused conviction. The overnight success you see on the chart is really just compounding finally becoming visible. And that's the part most of us underestimate. We want the hockey stick moment without sitting through the flat line. But the truth is, if you can stick to these habits, the curve eventually bends in your favor. That's how empires get built. Not in months, not even in a few years, but through the slow grind that suddenly looks unstoppable once the engine fully kicks in. The myth we're told is that billionaires just got lucky, or that they had access to some secret playbook, some insider investment the rest of us could never touch. But if you peel back the curtain, the truth is actually far less glamorous. They weren't chasing shiny objects every month. They were reinvesting steadily, staying patient when everyone else was panicking, and concentrating on the bets they understood best. For a fact, these aren't exclusive billionaire moves. These are habits. Habits you can start practicing today, whether you're working with a few $100s, a few thousand, or more. The scale might differ, but the principles are identical. So if there's one takeaway from this video, it's this. Stop looking for shortcuts, for the next hype trade, for the secret stock that promises overnight riches. Instead, start building the kind of habits that quietly compound over time. Because in the end, hype fades, luck runs out, but habits keep working for you day after day. And over the long run, it's habits that build empires. So guys, Which of these 3 habits do you struggle with most? Let us know in the comment section below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And of course, subscribe if you want more deep dives on money, markets, and mindset. Until next time, keep compounding.